evaluate and see how much you've gained over your baseline. And I think it's been cultural in the ministry, and I think this curriculum framework is no exception to that. In the future, like after implementation for 2 years or 3, we would go back and sort of correlate, collect information, as said by Mr. Jeng, correlate the two to see where we are, or how far we move from where we were, what are our problems, sort of what solutions should we suggest to sort of address those problems and the like.
I think I just want to say that this document is a very simple document. It's very easy to read. So anybody who lays hand on it can read it and understand it. Teachers, even the students can look at it, know what they are expected to learn. The parents, as Mr. Jeng has said, and other people who are not parents, not students, but are involved in education.
So why there isn't it for it to be that comprehensive, that it has to be touching on even the subject areas, even it's a subject by subject, and then the topics, and then how the teacher needs to go about teaching those subjects. So what's the need for it to be that comprehensive?
Yeah, I mean, if you bring up a profile of your learner, then you need to bring up the learning areas. Further, you mentioned to you learning areas. These are based on the need assessment, based on the learning profile, learner profile, that is, who are we going to get to graduate from basic education? What kind of skills and knowledge and attitude they need to develop. That dictates what learning areas you want to bring in. And that also dictates, you know, the learning outcomes that you need to put in. That is why the document is comprehensive and is providing all those guidelines for the user. And that makes it a good document.
Okay. Madam Dao, now that the stakeholders have come up to that extent that this basic framework is, this curriculum framework is not produced. So is that the end of the involvement of the stakeholders in it, or do you still continue with the process of the implementation of the document?
I think that's not the end, because it's a continuous process. From after developing the document, we need to go further, like in training, in implementation, and in almost everything. Because we mentioned some stakeholders, but there were also others that we didn't mention. But like, how do you call it? That's UNESCO BREDA, UNESCO NARCOM, and all these other institutions. Now these institutions also support teaching and learning, support the Ministry of Education. So it's not just stopping here. It's a continuous process up to wherever we can. All right, okay.
Yeah. So Mr. Jeng and Mr. Farajo, you must have been very familiar with the contents of this, because you must have been part and parcel of the production of this document. So are you optimistic, or do you foresee that this document would have the potential of at least getting what you people are looking for? Does it have that potential?
Obviously. Obviously, because when you look at the document, you look at all the issues that are raised in it, and then you look at, even as Mrs. Ndaus said, the teacher, the methodology that the teacher should use, even the school environment that the teacher should teach in are addressed by this. So I think I'm very much optimistic that this thing would definitely help us to produce the products that would help in our national development.
If you talk about quality, it's multifaceted. It's not one thing that will give you quality. It's not the teacher only, not the material only, but all this combination. And that is why the document is good, because it tells you that a combination of all these are there. It also tells you, in the process of developing this, it brings process and product together. When you talk about curriculum, it's not only a product. This is a product of curriculum. But what we went through to get this and what we will go through to implement this is the process. And you have to improve both the product and the process. If this is a good quality product, but the process of producing it or implementing it, is not good, then you are not getting what you want. So luckily for us, we have been able to combine process and product together, and that is why other countries, for your information, are learning from the Gambia. Gambia is a success story. It's been talked about everywhere in Africa. This I tell you, and Gambia is going to be a pilot that will share its experience with other countries.
All right. Thank you so very much, viewers. That's all time has given us in this week's edition of our Education Forum, but we'll be back again next week with another brand new edition. Till then, it's from me, Mohammed Jamal Sise. I thank you indeed for the pleasure of your company. See you again next week when we come your way.
wande jàng nga jàng weesuwul man ngay bindalal sa bopp man ngay Leaders are elected by the people. Let us work for the interests of the people. Kangilia, kerete sonkate, walang bangko la kay rodi. Election dinañu dina dem, mbokka gi fi des, nañ leen jubo. Politiko bina la bidala le, badia menje, ata samba no la mui. Election de dinañu dina dem, mbokka gi fi ma bandawt man saya menje mulika tombom adina kiliyaw mbe kankiliyaw banko menje dole damadi eyo Gambia be mubadi kile at the age of 18 you have a right to have a voter's card. A voter's card. At 18, you have a right to vote for your choice. To vote for your choice. Let's vote in peace and harmony for better Gambia. Better Gambia. Wanyo mbela mwenyola India dabedame sangitan minzele. Sangitan minzei isi mira no faye isi kieno kate bailate tabiro sangitan minzei isi mira no faye na keonya melen benno melen jammo Gambia sunuri Dina dem mbokk